Hi, welcome to my first screencast and app blast for EDU 578. I've chosen a simple but fun website that allows you to animate an image or picture to make it speak, like this one. I've introduced this to both middle and high school students in my own presentations, and I've had students use it in their projects as well. Working with the site is easy and quick, and the students seem to really like it. It adds an interesting component to the standard project or presentation, and after I have quickly explained how to use it, I'll show you an example of how I used it in one of my own classes. First, we want to go to Blabberize.com. It takes a bit more than 30 seconds, but not by much. Initially, you want to log in or sign in with an email account, which I've already done. That's the only commitment they ask of you. You don't need to pay, you don't need to sign up for anything else, and they don't send you any emails. We'll click Make. It'll prompt you to use a picture from your computer, so you want to set that up ahead of time. We'll click Browse from the images on our computer, and in the Mac, I've downloaded mine to iPhoto. For the sake of the screencast, I've already downloaded a picture of Woodrow Wilson from Google Images. So we're going to double click that, and here we go. Now it'll ask you to shape the margins. You can make it bigger or larger by using these buttons. If you want to sharpen up on his head, you can do that, but I like the way it is, so I'm going to go ahead and click Next. This is the tricky part, setting up the mouth. These top three line up with the upper lip. The bottom, shape it to how it goes out, down, and how far. I like to leave it a little bit further down because I think it's funny and it gives it a little bit more absurdity, because this is certainly absurd. So we'll do that. This large green dot is going to give the distance of how far it goes down. It doesn't go down this far, but the further you pull it down, the further it will go down. The mouth, that is. We'll click Next. Now, we're going to record the voice. You can use a microphone from your computer. You can upload something you've already recorded on your computer. Or you could record using your cell phone. There are also sounds that they have that are in the premium privileges that you'd have to pay for that I haven't used so far because I didn't see a need for it. I'm going to go ahead and click Microphone. It's going to prompt you to ask for permission to use the microphone. Allow. And let's see. Okay, that's a little off, so I would just go back down here to Place Mouths and fix it. Click on the mouth, and so that his whole face isn't coming off, move these two over here and click Next. Let's try it again. Okay, all right, it's still a little off, but get the point across. Next, we're going to click Record. And you can record whatever you like to say. Hi, my name is Woodrow Wilson. I came up with the 14 points. And end record. And next, and we'll see what it looks like by pressing play. And you can record whatever you like to say. Hi, my name is Woodrow Wilson. I came up with the 14 points. There we go. Okay, so that sounds good to me. If you wanted to fix anything, you could go back and do that. And I'm going to click OK. One of the other things that you can do with this app is make another scene. So we would take another picture after this one and make it speak, so you could have two people speaking back and forth with each other. They've done that here as an example.
Oh, Edward, why won't you make me a vampire? Why? Okay, I know I
Kind of
still
annoying,
have
but
overdue media books, but really, I keep trying to return them, but I keep falling down and tripping. Oh, I'm so clumsy. Oh, Edward, what am I gonna do? Oh, Bella. Really?
Okay, so that you get the point. I can't really take any more of that. So Ed Judo gave this application a 5 stars, or 4.5 out of 5 stars, I believe. So the way that I used it for my history class was I set it up with 3 historical figures, and it was during an activity for covering World War I, where students grouped together in threes to study and debate and recreate the Treaty of Versailles. I wanted to give my students some personal background before each of them took a sheet with a list of the country's aims and personal information about each of these gentlemen. But they had been working a lot on DBQs and primary source readings all week, and I wanted to give them some different way of getting this information. So I made these Blabberizes for France, Britain, and the United States. Got Wilson, Clemenceau, and Lloyd. So in the beginning, I shut everything down, and I said, please take notes over the person that you are covering and the country you're covering. And
30,000 civilians
basically
dead.
played it.
And much of the war had been fought on French soil. France wanted
So
to
Clemenceau's
begin control of many of Germany.
discussing what he was coming into the Treaty of Versailles thinking and wanting. Lloyd was also doing
Lord
the same.
George, yeah. It has often been suggested that I represented the middle ground between the idealistic Wilson
And then President Woodrow Wilson, who we just saw.
after World War I. Wilson here. The 14 points were listed in a...
So the students seemed to really engage in this and had a blast when they found out that I had done all of the voices. This prompted some of them to use this in their own projects, and it came out with some really interesting results. I was really happy with it, and I hope you give it a shot.